What's up, sons? It's Blind Run with Son of a Tech once again, and yes, we finally got a new GPU. That being said, we'll be talking about that in another video. Let me know if you guys would be interested in like little silly vlogs on how I ended up getting a graphics card at a reasonable price. But today we're going to be talking about Chia farming and AWS, which is Amazon Web Services. Basically cloud hosting solutions, and some reports that, essentially you are able to start farming Chia on AWS, with a huge caveat being that that page is now 404'd, and we are going to start putting dates down in the description below. So if you're ever watching a video, check the date when it was posted, because the news is shifting very quickly, and along with that, my thoughts and opinions will shift, as well as, of course, whether or not you should try doing any of these types of things. But before we get into it, here's a word from our sponsor. Prime XBT is an established trading platform that was founded in 2018 and remained in business through the bear market. From my personal research, there are three main reasons they set themselves apart from other trading platforms: high leverage, low fees, and most importantly, privacy. Prime XBT requires no user information to start trading. The newest module, called Co-Vesting, allows users to copy the trading activity of other users. Remember, any form of investing comes with significant risks, so do your own research. Use promo code SONOFATECH at sign-up for a 50% bonus. Welcome back. So, like I said, we basically had an announcement a couple days ago. Let's go ahead, where an article from CoinDesk said Amazon offers mining in the cloud for new Chia cryptocurrency. The recently launched Chia cryptocurrency XCH can now be mined on the cloud computing platform Amazon Web Services, AWS for short. Setting up the system takes as little as 5 minutes, according to a page AWS's Chinese website that has now been deleted, as reported by The Block on Friday. AWS provided a brief tutorial on how to integrate the architecture, generate wallet addresses, and start farming the Chia equivalent of mining. So, Chia Network, a blockchain and smart transaction platform, published a white paper in February announcing its goal of making mining easier for individuals, letting them commit unused hard drive space to support its decentralized network. The system is geared towards supplanting the energy-intensive proof-of-work model as used by Bitcoin, with proof of space and time, whereby network participants show they have been storing data over a period of time. Created by BitTorrent founder Bram Cohen, Chia launched its platform to conduct transactions and for trading on Monday. That reportedly prompted a shortage of hard drives in China as people rushed to buy the equipment to farm the cryptocurrency. Now, the original report for you guys is actually here on the block, theblockcrypto.com. And if you try to head over to the campaign page, it doesn't exist anymore, so it's been taken down. Now, some people also, of course, because of this news, started chatting about it some more once again on the subreddit for Chia, so you can go check it out. It's very active right now since the post and the news about AWS allowing it. And then you basically have some guides where people have basically saved those guides for you to utilize, or at least are able to tell you how to start doing it without necessarily AWS having it up with a tutorial themselves. Now, it gets a little crazier, because if we take a look at the Chia calculator now, we're at 6.47 exabytes. It is growing exponentially, and it is clear that Amazon is fully aware of this being an option. So where does that leave you as a miner, a cryptocurrency miner, or a Chia farmer? Well, you're going to have to either pony up and start plotting as quickly as you can in the cloud, as well as at your house, and possibly, hopefully, in a data center of your own, even at this point, to keep up with the network. Is getting very interesting very quickly, and the original intent of Chia, I think, is definitely being lost here. Once again, like we saw with every other cryptocurrency in existence, whether that be proof of work or proof of stake. When greed is involved, once again, people will start to consume whatever produces the most amount of value to them. And being as Chia is valued pretty high currently, it's just going to influence larger and larger corporations even at this point to get into the game and start plotting themselves. Why would Amazon take the page down? Well, there's a couple reasons. One of the things that, of course, Chia talked about was the available space and usage for data centers of that space while that space wasn't being used. It's possible that, at least in the case of the Chinese branch here, that they said, oh, well, we might as well just plot ourselves and we'll keep that to ourselves. And then if people rent out that storage space, as part of our cloud platform, then we'll remove the plots and send it back into that space. And that was kind of part of the idea of Chia, was utilize all this extra space that is laying around in the cloud solutions, along with any consumer that has it, available to them, even on your local drives. So it can spread across all of those options. What does that mean though for the cryptocurrency itself? It spells out possible issues with centralization. Seeing as cloud storage solutions are primarily controlled by what I would call the big three, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google, if Amazon, Microsoft, and Google decide to get into, of course, farming Chia and plotting any extra data or that they have available in their cloud while they wait on people to rent it out for other uses, then ta-da, those three companies will control all of the farmed blocks, and as a average consumer, we will never see any of that. And that is a big problem. Now, this does go to, of course, the credit of Chia in the way that it's built in its randomness, because as you guys know, there have been people that have had 100 gigabyte plot that have basically been able to get a payout or a block reward, while someone like me with 14 to 48 terabytes, depending on what day you talk to me, has gotten 0 since the beginning. So there is an amount of randomness to those bingo cards that maybe is helping out here a little bit. But once again, we go back to the problem that we talked about with proof of stake, and at the end of the day, the more you have, the more likely it is for you to, of course, get those block rewards. Finally, the last reason that they may have taken down, of course, the website for teaching you guys how to farm Chia on AWS would primarily be the fact that it goes through solid state drives quite frequently. Now, if their guide included anything like the plotting process and utilizing their cloud SSD storage to plot, they may have figured out a little bit more about how quickly those SSDs that they're renting out would get burned through, and so they took that down. Because frankly, if it was me and they had a plotting method for me to utilize in the cloud where I was utilizing their solid state drives and not mine to plot, then I would use those and then just move the plots to my local drives, right? And that's because, once again, we need to clarify the very important distinction between plotting and farming. Chia destroys your drives in 40 days. First of all, that's only going to apply to solid state drives depending on their total read and write capacity, as that is limited, and it is only when plotting, so it doesn't actually have the same usage as when you are farming. So if you are plotting to like an NVMe and then moving it over to your kind of hard drive storage for the farming, the hard drive storage for the farming, we don't have an actual time on that as far as when those drives will be, need to be recycled. But we do know that the plotting process itself is very demanding on the drives. And because you want to use NVMEs to basically improve that speed or time to plot, you're going to go through those very quickly. Once again, also though, depending on how fast you're plotting, because the more reads and writes and plots you're doing in parallel, essentially the faster that drive is going to die. There are some workarounds that we can discuss in the future for this, such as RAM disks in a server that you could purchase from ServerMonkey, and utilizing RAM storage for your temp plot and plotting process as opposed to using, NVMe drives. And I'd be very excited to cover some of that stuff. One of the things that I would be interested in, if you guys have found any information on it, is how many read and writes, of course, the actual farming process requires. And if we can get that nailed down, then we would have a better idea on return on investment and hard drive wear and tear. That being said, if you're going to be farming, I recommend using hard drives and not using solid state drives, because the hard drives will last longer. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next Tuesday. If you enjoyed this content, you can check out more crypto content on this playlist up here, or of course, go ahead and subscribe for more in the future. Adios.